didn't have to. I threw out the piece of paper immediately. I inputted where his house was, what the directions were, all the information I needed went right into my calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Right in. Then last week I go, oh, I got Leon's event coming up. Someone calls me up on the phone. What are you doing Saturday? I've got Leon's. I can't be with you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it's fantastic. It's the story of my life.
I'll tell you, summertime is a nightmare because people start saying, well, I want to come out this weekend.
That's right.
All of that I'm trying to keep in my head.
Oh, my God.
This is the weekend for...
No, that's why you're miserable. That's the only reason you're miserable.
Who said I was miserable?
I know about you. I hear a lot about you.
Here? I don't talk to anybody.
You talk to plenty of people.
Who do I talk to?
I know things about you.
Oh, my God. Here we go again.
I know the
With
chaos
people
that's your
making
life.
up stories.
Okay. I know the chaos that's your life, and I feel for you. But I'm giving you the best of... I've spent a half hour of the show advising you. And you must heed my advice because I know I'm right.
I'm listening, and I'm
All right.
trying to think of how I could work this into my life.
It's so simple. It's simple. Simple, simple, simple. Calendar? You have Lotus Notes, right?
Well, I do, but I was afraid of that program because it always crashed my computer.
It's so much fun. All right, then you'll use a different calendar. But I use the Lotus Notes calendar, and it integrates with other calendars. And it's fun. You color code it.
You sure it won't crash anything if I go to Lotus Notes?
No. Your birthdays go in there. Do you know every birthday is in there of all my friends?
Wow.
Inputted. And you do it once. Sure was a pain in the ass. Someone tells me a birthday.
I heard you saying that you put, you were going through your phone one day, you were putting in numbers and finding pictures of people so the picture would pop up with the number.
That's right.
He's out of his mind.
Well, you'd love it. Let me tell you something. You know what
now
else?
I got all these blank things staring at me on my phone.
You know what else is in the calendar? For example, highlights of our career.
Wow.
I wake up in the morning, it says, hey, 25 years ago you started on WYSP. It's a nice...
How did you find out this information?
When I hear the information, I put it on my to-do list, and then I enter it into the calendar. Or I was on a website, somebody was chronicling things like that, so I put it in. I said, oh, that would be something nice. Because the calendar will tell you when Christmas is, and it will tell you when New Year's. But what about my personal calendar, my personal holidays?
Right, yeah.
My highlights. It's all on my calendar. Let me tell you something.
I would love to see this.
You've got, and you want to know something? You would be jealous.
I would.
You're not kidding. I'm organized, and you would say, wow, this guy's having fun. This is my fun.
I don't know if I call it fun.
It's fun. My photography teacher sits down with me because let's schedule lessons for the month.
But, like
for the month.
Once you asked me about anniversaries and stuff, I was like, that is a nightmare to me. I don't remember any of those things. And I don't pay. I wish people would stop paying attention to them.
How'd I know it was my mother-in-law's birthday and Judith Regan's birthday the other day?
And I got to say happy birthday to Judith. Thank you.
Right.
You know
what?
For your organization.
Funny thing is, I didn't say happy birthday to her. But the point is, I know when it's someone's birthday. Pops up. I know Brian Phelan's birthday.
Oh, my God.
Well, it goes a long way.
You've got trivia in it.
I've got trivia. Something nobody cares about I have in there. Brian Phelan's birthday is a holiday on my thing.
Oh, my goodness.
This is important. I realize this is important. This is what I needed to take control of my life, and I've been so happy ever since. And I feel good imparting this knowledge to you.
You're just reminding me. I forgot to write something to somebody.
Right.
For their birthday recently.
Right. Well, let me tell you.
Now I've got to go do the belated thing.
Some people, their birthday pops up the day of because I know I don't buy gifts for them. Someone like you, I get a 2-week notice. That's how I work it. And you're going to love it. You can't go around all day remembering. Every little thing is a thing for your to-do list. Just see what's... I'm sitting there and I'm working on my photography. All of a sudden a question pops in my mind. For the teacher. I don't have the teacher with me. I just
write it down.
Right into the to-do list that goes, question for Doug. That's the teacher. Then when I sit down at night, I have a whole list of questions for Doug.
Yeah, even when I'm telling Dennis something or having a discussion with him, I'll go, oh, there was one more thing I wanted to talk to you about. What was it?
And if you looked on your to-do list, it would say, Dennis, blah, blah, blah. My chalet needs sprucing up.
Right.
My jet skis need maintenance.
No, I don't have to tell him that.
My yacht needs my yacht needs a new fin. I don't know, whatever it is, whatever it uses. I mean, this is what it takes to be happy. The world is filled with chaos.
You know, like even right now, every time I see him, I'm thinking, you know, like there's a bunch of stuff we need to discuss. And he says, yeah, you know, I'm going to, when you have some time, I'm going to, and we never plan it. And so every time I look at him, I'm like, I wonder when we're going to discuss that. I really wish we had discussed that already. You know, I wish I knew what that plan was.
First of all, you're going to sit down and say, I need to discuss, you're going to write on your to-do list, I need to discuss a bunch of things with Captain Dennis. Then when you make your plan, you're going to contact him and say, I want to meet with you at 2 o'clock on Tuesday. And you're going to put it in your calendar. And then you're going to, on your list, you're going to go through and you're going to see questions electronically. You can keep them all in one place. Questions for Captain Dennis. Mm-hmm. And you sit down, you're going to have 75 questions. They're all going to be, there's a guy who works with me, the guy Matt, who does my computers. I have probably a list of 75 things. Mm. We sit down, we have the list, and after the meeting, I forward him the list. That's how we work. I don't leave it up to anybody else. And then I go through my list, and then when it's done, I check a thing off. That's it. Boom, done.
Don't have to worry about that anymore.
No more.
I still need something to keep my cats from crawling under my bed. When is that happening?
Well, do you buy that?
No, he's going to do that.
All right, but so.
But I've talked to him about it. It hasn't happened.
Right, so that would be on your list, and it hasn't been completed.
I have to remember to keep opening and closing doors.
And you're going to get angry with him because he hasn't done something, but the thing is, you should be angry with yourself for not having that on the list.
But he knows about that.
Well, then you got to say, listen, I don't want to stay on you about this. And you'll see on your list, it's been on my list for 3 weeks. Why hasn't this been done? That's right.
That's good.
That's right. But I see chaos in your life, and it's not making you happy. And you're not having fun. You're not sitting and scheduling the story of your life.
Oh, my God.
And you've got to do it. And I'll tell you what, this radio broadcast is the most important broadcast I've done. This is not just directed at Robin. It's directed at you. I mean you.
Everyone could use this information.
That's right. People don't realize how together I am.
Well.
I work at it.
This is together?
Let me tell you something. Yeah, this is what it looks like. You're staring at together. Get used to it. This is together, right here. Look at me.
This is it?
I'm your Mashiach. I just did you the biggest favor of your life. If you take my advice, you'll be happy.
All right. What's next? I got a wallet.
I told you, you need a calendar book. I don't care if you do it or you want to do it electronically.
You want to give me too big a chunk. Baby steps and little baby bites.
No, listen, you don't need a baby step. You need a giant step forward. Let's get into it. All right, I'll tell you what. Start with a calendar. That's what you need. An electronic calendar.
Why not a to-do list? Can I start with a to-do list?
No. You need a calendar first. And I want you to fill in everyone's birthdays, including your own.
Okay.
I want you to fill in the regularly scheduled appointments, things that happen on a regular, from 6 to 10 in the morning you're here.
Right.
I want to see on that.
Put that on?
Put show on, because you know what? Do you know what days you're working? Do you know what days you're off? Do you know what days are vacation days?
I now have a hard calendar that tells me all of that.
All right. Well, put it in your new calendar.
But I also keep forgetting to give this person a date for when I can do something.
Well, put in all your dates in your calendar, and you're going to look at it, and you're going to say, okay. That's why I say you got to get a to-do list also, pronto.
Right, that needs to be on the to-do list. I still have to get back to Hillary.
Well, I could recommend a program to you, to-do list, it's called. To-do, T-O-D-O.
You know what? I love these apps.
Yeah, well, that's an app. To-do is an app.
You know,
I wish they had it. I'm hoping Apple's coming out with a new one. They're supposedly coming out with one in September, because the syncing on these on the to-do is terrible.
Really?
But nevertheless, you'll be fine. You don't have that many places to sync. You'll be fine. Just get that. It's a very simple program.
I do like that the Droid gives you a full 30-day calendar that you can look at.
Right. Oh, there it is. Then you have a calendar. That's your calendar program. But it also has to pop up everywhere. It has to pop up on your computers, on your phone, and on your iPad.
Why does it have to pop up in all those places?
Because I want you to have access to it all the places.
What?
And you need a big place to input stuff, too. When you sit down at home, it should be on your big computer. You sit down. It's easier to input. You want it replicating everywhere.
All right.
That's not hard. Captain, whatever his name is, can help you with that.
Captain whatever.
Kangaroo.
I'm going to start calling you. Hey, Captain whatever.
Captain Kangaroo. So you gotta pull this together. I don't even care if you buy a book. It's a yearly book.
I can't do a book.
Good.
I bought a beautiful book. Doesn't have a thing in it.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter what the vehicle is.
I need it on the phone.
Yeah, you've got to sit down with, and you've got to spend an hour tonight thinking about it.
Well, you know what?
You're getting worked up about
an hour tonight.
Yeah, I want you to spend an hour thinking about it tonight. I want you to sit down, look at your calendar program. I want you to look over a to-do list. I want you to get on the internet, pick the app you like, and get busy with it. Because this is ridiculous. You're walking around in chaos.
By the way, you have no idea who I was with yesterday.
I would if you had a calendar. Who were you with?
Dr. Kaufman.
Oh, my dentist. He's
yes,
fantastic.
Yes.
How'd you see him?
He's had
everywhere.
A filling dropout.
Oh.
And my dentist was unavailable.
So you called him?
So I called Dr. Kaufman. He got me right in. And
he should be your dentist
He did
anyway.
an amazing job.
Yeah. Well, switch off from that guy you've been going to. Go to this guy, Dr. Kaufman.
Well, it looks like, I have a lot to do because now I have to have a root canal going in for that today.
With Dr. Kaufman?
Well, his person.
Right.
Yeah.
He's terrific.
Endodontist that he recommended.
He never steered me wrong, this guy. I love him. I mentioned in my book that's how much I love him. He saved my teeth. I'm telling you.
Well, he did a little thing in a temporary, and he was like, I can't feel a thing. I wouldn't know he had been in my mouth yesterday.
That's what I'm talking about. I love that guy.
He's amazing.
Well, good for you. Just do what I do, and you'll be fine.
I wouldn't call you, though, and ask for his number. I called Ralph.
Why'd you do that? Why wouldn't you call me? I could. First of all,
I wouldn't be able to get a hold of you.
Oh,
probably.
Well, that's true. I'm busy. I'm busy with my calendar. But anyway, this is the point of life. If anyone is missing this point, I just did you a big favor. That's it.
But when they told me to come back today and what time, I kept it in my head.
Yeah, that's bad.
I didn't write it down anyway.
I write it down. Then I look at my calendar.
And then they said to me, the doctor's coming in just for you. I said, I'll be here. I'll be here.
I have a meeting today. It's all written down. Who is going to be at the meeting, the names of the people, this kind of thing. It's all in there. When Don calls me, he says, you got a meeting today. I go, who's going to be there? Boom, 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 goes on my to-do list, and then I put it in at night. So when I hit a button, the names of the people come up. This is it. This is fun. It's fantastic to be in charge of your life. Look, I could have been a motivational speaker in life. I would have made a fortune. The shit I'm making here.
We're starting a religion after this. I've decided.
I'm telling you, I know what to do.
You've got people crying when they see you.
That's right. There's a place for all of you in my religion. You will all be there.
That's right. Benji's a deacon.
Yeah, no. Benji's the devil. What is it, Benji?
I have an advanced question about
Sure.
this. So when you keep a to-do list, like when you keep...
Very simple.
Like questions for, like, Matt and, like, something I have to buy.
Go ahead.
Do they break down into separate lists then?
No. Everything that day that I think of goes on one piece of paper, so to speak, whether it's electronic or a real piece of paper. It just goes there. Then when I sit down at night, I have a separate little thing on my thing that says questions for Matt. I throw that. I can drag it right into questions for Matt. Do you see what I'm saying? Everything gets filed. But during the day, everything is just on that one sheet of paper for the day.
But then you do keep separate lists.
And then I do, and then I organize it at night. Okay. I don't worry during the day. Everything goes in.
It's just one list during the day.
It's
you
as
just
if
put everything in there.
It's as if you threw everything down into one bucket. It can't get lost. Then I sort through the bucket at night. If it's a question for Matt, it goes under questions for Matt. If it's a question for Doug, a question for Doug. If it's a thing I want to talk to Laura, a thing for Laura. Then some things just go on the general to-do list. But it's all where I know where it is.
I actually took a course in this one.
Of course. Of course. Let me tell you something. This is what they should be teaching in school. They don't teach it.
And I could never do it. I mean, now that you're saying this stuff about the to-do list, I was like, oh, yeah, they used to say all this stuff.
Because they don't know how to teach it. I'm a good teacher.
Well, no, I don't know how to implement it. They would be sitting right there, like, here's your book.
Right.
This was back in the days that only books existed.
If I sat with you, if I had a class in this, I would teach you in a week.